Welcome to Banfield. What a difference a day can make. 24 hours ago, I was right here fuming about this completely astounding case out of Louisiana. A rape victim who'd been ordered to hand over her child to the rapist. And then on top of that, pay him child support. No joke. Crysta Abelseth appeared on this program last night and told me that she was raped and impregnated by a 30-year-old man when she was just 16 and drunk. And 16 was then and is now too young to give legal consent in the state of Louisiana. So it was a crime, pure and simple, by math. She described to me how that man, John Barnes, found out about the child that she bore and then went after her for custody and got it. And when 50-50 custody wasn't enough, he went for full custody and got it. And when that wasn't enough, he demanded child support and got it. Everything about Crysta's story was disturbing, but there were two huge things that stuck out. First, that John Barnes was a free man, despite the fact he raped a child and that Crysta, the child, his victim, had filed a police report almost 7 years ago. The second thing that stood out, that a judge would ever see fit to give that man custody of a child who is now the exact same age that her mother was when her mother was raped by that very man. Tonight, however, all of this could change because today, the sheriff of Tangipahoa Parish, Sheriff Daniel Edwards, made a huge admission. He said authorities made a, quote, mistake. And he said he's now turning the rape case over to the district attorney. I want to read part of Sheriff Edwards' statement. He says, in tracing this case back to the time the initial complaint was filed on July 1, 2015, it was discovered that the report never made it through the proper channels within the department to be assigned for investigation. Therefore, our department absolutely dropped the ball. And we simply must own our mistake. This is a mistake, however, that simply has never been a problem before or since. And we must make sure to keep it that way. So that's that. They dropped the ball. They never started investigating the possible rape of a child. Oops. The announcement came just hours after the presiding judge in the case decided to unseal all the documents surrounding the custody case. And those documents reveal a rape victim's rights being trampled. It also reveals red flags being missed or maybe intentionally ignored. And all of that may have put another teenage girl in the path of that rapist. His own daughter, 16, same age as the mom was when she was raped. I am joined again tonight by the person at the center of this case, Crysta Abelseth. And with Crysta is Staci Trish. She's the founder and executive director of the organization Save Lives. Crysta, I said it at the top of the show, what a difference 24 hours can make. What is your response to the fact that the sheriff is now admitting they completely dropped the ball?
Yes, you did. You called it, and they absolutely did drop the ball, which we all knew that already. Them admitting it is a big step forward, at least. So we have that going for us.
So here's something else that the sheriff said, and I'm going to read directly from Sheriff Daniel Edwards' statement. He says, additionally, it's important to know that the complainant, that's you, did not follow up on this matter until April of 2022. Upon receiving notice, a team of investigators were assigned to and worked diligently to delve into the facts surrounding the case. Due to the complex nature of their findings, the case was turned over to the district attorney. So they're putting the blame on you, it looks like. And as I understand it, that's not the way policing works. It's not up to the victim to keep calling and chasing after and trying to find out what the results are. But I also remember you telling me last night that you had called, not just once, but multiple times. Is that true?
That is true. So that part was false. What he said, I did call, I did follow up. Every, let's say, 3 weeks to a month for about 6 months, I tried to find out what was going on.
So then, okay, so they're admitting that they've dropped the ball. They're admitting that this was really bad. But have they called you? Have they investigated? Have they done an interview with you? Have they asked for witnesses? Like, did they start the job today in getting this ball officially rolling? Or are they just saying, you know what, it's now up to the DA to do all that work?
My attorney did contact them and request a meeting, and we did go and meet with the captain, a detective, and a lieutenant. And we offered them all of the evidence, laid it out for them, birth certificates, DNA, witnesses, witness contact information, and asked them, do you need anything else? What can we do to help you? We'll do all the work if that's what you really want, and just hand it to you.
Well, that's big. I mean, that is a big change. What about your daughter? Did they check on her? Have Child Protective Services been called in? Now that we officially have a man who is not only accused of rape, but by the math did the rape and has a child the same age as the victim he raped. So what's happening with your daughter?
To my knowledge, no one has checked on her. No one has contacted her or taken a statement or an interview as far as my case goes. They just said they're not involved.
Well, that's troubling. And I hope that that's the next shoe to drop, that at least someone comes forward and says, we're going to do some serious diligence here to make sure that your daughter is okay. Has your daughter ever expressed to you that she doesn't want to be there?
Yes, multiple times, not just to me, to people in my family, friends, people that he knows.
How about the school, counselors, et cetera? Has she said she doesn't want to be with her father?
Yes, she did go to the school counselor and told the counselor that she was scared, basically, for her life.
Has she ever tried to run away?
I don't believe so.
So, Staci, let me ask you something. Last night when the three of us were talking, Crysta mentioned something that sort of sent a chill down my spine, and that was that John Barnes had threatened her and said he was connected. So we looked through some of the dots to see about the connections, and we discovered something we thought was uncomfortable, and I want to get your thoughts here. John Barnes had done work, it seemed, for the sheriff, and he had the emblem of the sheriff on his website, which then mysteriously, when the media started, shining a light, disappeared. And then we discovered that the sheriff in this case has a very, very influential brother in one Governor John Bell Edwards. Governor John Bell Edwards is the brother of the sheriff in this case. And I told you his name was Sheriff Daniel Edwards. They have the same last name, and they grew up in the same place where this is taking part. We called the sheriff, or excuse me, we called the governor's office today, and we asked for comment, and we also emailed, and we got no response at all, and that was 8 hours ago. Staci, do you make something of that? The fact that the connections he says he has may have gone all the way to the governor?
Well, it sounds like the same response I got, which is why I had to contact the media. Like I said last night, we called, our foundation literally called representatives, senators, any kind of law enforcement, legal we could find, and we got nowhere. Everybody was told their hands were tied. They would get back to us and say our hands are tied because it's still open. It's still an open investigation. And I'm like, well, it's been open for 7 years. So what does this mean? This means that they get to keep it open for 50 years and this victim is never, ever going to get justice?
So I'm going to go over some dates here. This is like remarkable. I want to talk about Judge Jeffrey Cash in this case. The unsealed court documents today we thought would answer some questions, but it actually made things even more curious, let me say. In April of 2013, John Barnes started paying you $428 in child support. And then in August of 2015, 2 days later, Judge Jeffrey Cash is assigned to your case. 1 year later, actually half a year, February of 2016, he grants split custody to Barnes. And then again, February 2016, you're also ordered to start paying Barnes $78. And eventually that went to $117. We've got $74 on the screen, and I'll find out what the difference is there. But did Judge Cash make all the difference in your case? Like, did everything change when Judge Cash got on board?
Yes, that is exactly when things started to change for the absolute worst.
I'm very disturbed by one thing. There's court records that show in February of this year, in this man's courtroom, you asserted in court before him that you had been raped by that man who was fighting for your child and to be paid child support. And apparently he made note that he didn't think it was true because he felt like you only brought that up at a time when you were being threatened with contempt. I have a really tough time with this because I would assume that somebody somewhere said, Judge, all you need to do is do the math. You don't need an investigation. I'm standing in front of you and you have my birth certificate.
When else would I have brought it up? I was always being accused of contempt. I was always being attacked and being, portrayed as a bad mom or anything like that. And how else was I going to tell him or say it if not in court when I'm being basically attacked?
So Staci, help me with this, because part of the issue, and I'm still struggling with this anyway, is that John Barnes, the rapist, says that Crysta has given a cell phone to her daughter, and that when the daughter is around 14, maybe 13, 14, he accuses the daughter of sexting and taking racy pictures and posting racy pictures. And he says to the judge, I don't want that girl to have a cell phone anymore. And the judge orders you not to give her a cell phone. And then John Barnes comes back and says, you went ahead and gave her another one. But I recall on the show last night saying that you had not given her the second cell phone. Where is the evidence that you gave her a second cell phone, that maybe a boyfriend didn't give her a second cell phone, that maybe dad didn't give her a second cell phone in order to make this assertion in court? And who loses custody over a cell phone?
There was no evidence. There was absolutely no evidence. They did an ex parte in the judge's chambers. The attorney nor Crysta were allowed to have any sort of defense. Decision was made. That's it. It's done and over with. And the truth of the matter was that she can prove through her cell phone bills that there was only one phone given to her daughter. But yet she loses custody over a second cell phone that does not exist.
So here's what's uncomfortable, like among everything. The math says he's a rapist. That's just proof right there, the math. Number two, he doesn't have anything to do with this child for the better part of a decade. And then in the best interest of the child, apparently she's supposed to go live with a stranger who's a rapist. Number three, it's all regarding a cell phone, which is awkward, unusual. I haven't heard of that before. Number four, your daughter, a year prior, had said in January of 2021 to her guidance counselor that she'd been physically and mentally abused by Barnes. There is an allegation on February 23rd of this year that she believes her father had drugged and sexually assaulted her 2 nights in a row. You contact the authorities. She's taken to Children's Hospital in New Orleans, evaluated, where the doctor confirms there's evidence of forced entry congruent with sexual assault. These are your allegations. But what about the hospital records? Like, if the hospital checked her out and saw these things, where is that paperwork?
We're reluctant to speak on that. We do have the paperwork, but there's so many things that are up in the air with the evidence and what's going on with the evidence that we just can't speak on that right now.
Well, when you can, I do want to hear, because any judge that sees a hospital report that corroborates what the young girl is saying is extraordinarily weighty evidence. Crysta Abelseth and Staci Trish, thank you again for returning tonight as this story just, has taken off and the developments are extraordinarily quick. I just know that tomorrow there'll be something else as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time tonight. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.